If I was going to pour a strong base on one hand and a strong acid on the other hand, which would you want to get rid of the quickest? I've been in hazmat and hazmat training for 30 years. And this is a question I always ask at the beginning of all my training. A base is a pH of higher than 7, and an acid has a pH lower than 7. So which would you want to get rid of first? Think about it. Write it in the comments what you think your answer is. The answer is a base. And the reason you want to get rid of the base first is because if you think about it, how do they used to make soap? They added lye to fats. Well, guess what? Lye is a base and our hands have fats. So what happens is when you put that base on there, it goes into your skin and it immediately starts to turn your skin to soap. It starts to work its way down. If you have an acid, the acid burns, you get a burn and it can really hurt, but as soon as you wash it off, it's done. Bases keep going even though you wash them off. So that's the answer to that question. Like I said, I've been doing hazmat for 30 years. I've trained the fire department, the hazmat teams. I've worked with the hazmat teams. I've worked emergency response I've actually accepted anthrax samples. I have a lot of experience in hazmat, and I've seen a lot of things go wrong. And I've been thinking about it. You know, as preppers, you never hear about, hazmat. You know, it's never hazmat. But we are around a lot of materials that are dangerous. And just kind of think about what you might have. You probably have gasoline. You probably have diesel. You may have propane. You may have oils, like a furnace oil or whatever. You probably have solvents. There's a number of just stuff that as an average human being, we have in our homes. And they spill, and how do you handle that? Because sometimes it can get very, very dangerous if you do it wrong. And just like I said, with the acids and bases. Okay, so first I'm gonna go over the basics. I'm gonna rush through this part because I don't want to waste time with this. I want to make this fairly short. First things you really want to have. You want to have a good sweeping broom, a big, nice broom. Then you also want just the regular broom. You should have this available. A lot of times you want to keep this stuff with your kit, so that way you have the designated tools with your kit. And then I like these for sweeps, for sweeping up instead of the old school where you have to bend over. The janitorial are really nice. I recommend one of these. And then, so say you have a gas spill. Well, we throw stuff down. One thing that I recommend is getting something like this. This is a sweep, we call it. What it does is it's not like a wood and things like that. A lot of people will use woods or sawdust, and you don't want that because that could start fires. There are times when it's okay, but it's better to be safe. This is pretty much good for whatever you spill. If you spill an acid, this is fine. If you spill a base, this is fine. If you spill a solvent, this is fine. And it's basically, this is called dry rite. I'll have a link in the description if you can't find it locally. You can also use kitty litter. Kitty litter works really well. And what you do is you sprinkle this over the spill, but you don't need to get carried away. Then you use your broom and you just work it in, sweep it up, and you're good. That's what we have this. Everybody should have this. And then I got this kit, and I got this on Amazon, so of course I'll have a link to it. I really like the kit because what it has in it is everything that you'll need, and just about the amount that we would as a normal prepper. We're not doing a huge hazmat scenario, so we don't need a lot. We don't need to take up a whole big space in our garage or a vehicle. You can put this in your vehicle too. You can either buy the kit, which this will be a link in the description for this, or you can just buy it all individually. And this is what you need. And a lot of this stuff people don't have. Let me go. The first thing that we want are pads. These are pads. What you do with these pads is they're great for if you have a leak in your car, you throw it under your vehicle. And then what it does is it absorbs the actual oils or the liquids or whatever you're leaking, and it keeps it from spreading. It keeps it from, you know, causing issues. This also, say if you have a spill outside and there's like some water or something, it's like a mud puddle. What you want to do is throw this down, and this will pull it out of the water. So it works great. These can also be used as filters too on a side, non-hazmat side. But you can get by the bale. I mean, honestly, this is about probably all you'll need. However, you got to think about what you have. Let's say you have a diesel tank, 500-gallon diesel tank. Obviously, you'll need more, and you may need bigger. But if I had a diesel tank, I'd have, or a fuel tank for your home, I'd probably get a bale of this and have it nearby. Because there's one thing that happens is when you get, like, say you get a leak in your, I've actually seen it where the fuel tank outside of a home, they have it on those wooden, you know, stands. The stand rod away, bam, fell over. The cleanup was tens of thousands of dollars. It made a mess. And, you know, you say, well, I can just kind of ignore it. Yeah, but when you go to sell your house, it may not be that easy. So you want to be proactive on it. Even on that, you may want spill protection. But then you'd want more of these, probably a bale, because you can just take these and just throw them. I've actually was on a train wreck once where we actually had a semi full of these, and we were just pitching them out in a pond. But these are nice. They also make them where they're like, some will only absorb oils, and those are really nice for, say, if you have a spill in the pond, then you can throw those on the water. They won't draw into the water in. It'll only draw in the oils. So say if you have a home where it's really close to a body of water, I would recommend getting those. For the normal prepper, you probably just want these. These are for, they absorb both. That way you can also pick up antifreeze and things like that. The oil only won't pick up antifreeze, obviously, because it's water-based. But get some of these. They're awesome. The next thing you want, you probably don't see these, is these little booms. And these come in all different sizes. And you can get the big ones, the 10 foot, and they link together. And once again, think about what you have. A normal prepper probably only needs this. And what you do, this stops a spill. So say you're in a house and you got a leak outside your house, and there's like a storm drain or something, or it's going to leak into your basement or something. You throw this down, you just kind of step on it. It stops the flow. It catches it. It sucks it up. It's perfect. And then also, say you have that pond I'm talking about. First thing you do is you throw down your pad. You cover your slick with pad. Then around the pad, you start throwing these things down. And that's when, if you have a pond, I recommend getting the big boys. They're usually 6-inch, and they have carabiners on the ends. That way you can connect them together. But once again, that's not a normal prepper. But if you do have property and you have a big pond, it'd be good to have that, you know, in your arsenal. But these work great. They come in, like I say, a variety of sizes. But what came in a spill kit will work. See, you figure if you got a spill here, you just lay that down like that. It'll stop it. And say it's flowing, you know, like maybe it's in some water's flowing down your driveway or something. You can stop it. And once again, these can also be used for filters, for solids. But yeah, that works great. Recommend them. See, this kit has a few. All right, and then you also need gloves. Okay, this kit comes with these. I'm not sure of the composition of them. I prefer nitrils. You'll want to get nitrile gloves. These are over gloves. So generally, when you do a cleanup, you want to have gloves, nitrile gloves, like, you know, that slide on, and then you put these on top. That's for rip protection. It kind of depends, you know, if you're used to dealing around oils, it's not that big of a deal. But and you can also get booties too. And this kit too, it also has. See, if you look at this close, you can see how this works. See, they're guarding the storm drain. Here they have an oil spill, and see, they circled it to keep it from flowing. So you'd circle it and then throw down that the kitty litter, whatever. Here they show the combination of everything. Same with this down here. See, that's kind of, so this is really handy to have. And that's why I'm saying this kit is pretty cool. I was actually pretty happy with it. It even has a thing looks like to hazardous materials. It's like little trash bags to put your debris in, which is a whole nother situation, which we won't go into because my viewers are all over the world, so I can't really go over the rules and regs on that. However, this is a really good spill kit, and if this doesn't work for you, buy it individually. And I think this should set you up. Right now, I think we have a trivia for the day.
What actually burns in a fire? A solid, a liquid, or gas? The answer is gas. Even when it looks like the solid or liquid itself is burning, what is really happening is that heat is turning into vapors or liquids, and those gases ignite. That's why gasoline is so dangerous. It's the vapors above the liquid that catch fire. Even wood first breaks down into gases before it burns. Understanding that can help you stay safer around fuels and hazardous materials.
Okay, if you have any questions, any kind of scenarios you want me to go over, anything that you have, with your property, if you want to go deeper into this, let me know if you want me to do. This is just a touching of what hazmat is. And I was thinking if this is something that you're interested in, I can do a whole series. I can go deep in the weeds. I used to teach a 40-hour class on this, so I can stand and talk forever on this. This is something I'm extremely knowledgeable in. I really actually enjoy it. I can really help you guys, so leave a comment, ask a question, and these questions may turn into a video, or I might just be able to answer them. Hello, my name is Wayne, and I'm with Normal Prepping.